Yo. RX back with another breakdown of UFC 319. Duplessis versus Chimaev. We back with another breakdown, not a recap for the first time this week, of a pay-per-view that is great. It's great. I'm not saying it's perfect, because I'd be a bold-faced liar at that point, but I think this card's great. Main event, the biggest fight left this year. It's phenomenal. I can't wait. Everyone is excited for it. I don't even know what to say. The rest of the card's pretty good. Aaron Pico's debut, MVP's back. We'll see Prates is going to bounce back. Our first Contender Series debut of the year. I know week 1 just ended. We'll talk about that. One of the Ultimate Fighter finales. We'll talk about why only one in a second. It's a good card. I truly enjoy it. 13 fights in Chicago for the first time in forever. Since CM Punk's debut, I think. I don't know. They've not been in Chicago in a long time, but finally back, and they're bringing the heat. What a fucking card. I can't wait. I truly cannot wait. It's gonna be lit. 13 fights from Chi-Town. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm so fucking excited. And I can't wait. I don't know what else to say. That's all. I know I can just say the same thing 20 times in a row. I'm excited. I don't know what else you would like me to say. I know a lot of people are not thrilled for a lot of this card, but at the end of the day, we all agree the main event is phenomenal, and I cannot fucking wait for it. So, I don't got much else to say. I'm so excited for this card, and I can't wait to break it down, so why waste any more time saying the same thing that I'm hyped for the card, and why not just get into the card? So, shall we do that? I don't see why not. Before we do, the final thing I'll say beforehand is, as always, the normal YouTube bullshit. Please like, comment, and subscribe. 200 subs goal by the end of 2025. Can we hit it? Would be cool. I doubt it. Either way. So I'm gonna be doing this shit for y'all no matter what. I love y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy this breakdown, because I know I am. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into a fire-ass breakdown. 13 fights from Chicago, Illinois on pay-per-view. Biggest fight left in 2025. Let's fucking do it. 319 breakdown. You ready? I know I am. But let's not waste any more time, and let's get into it. UFC 319 breakdown. Begin. I'm so fucking excited. But sadly, I gotta start off with bad news. We did lose 2 fights earlier today, or yesterday, Thursday. It was meant to be a 15 fight card, but it quickly became a 13 fight card. We lost Bobby Green versus Geoff, which was meant to be the featured prelim. Bobby Green got injured. Boo. That sucks. It could be worse, but it sucks to lose that fight. Hopefully they rebook Geoff for a fight ASAP. UFC Brazil would be a pretty cool spot for that, but we'll see. And then we did lose the other tough finale, the middleweight one, with Rodrigo Cezinando and Daniel Danchenko. I forget who got injured there. One of them did, and that got moved to Noche UFC, so we will be talking about that one in a couple weeks. Sucks. It truly does to lose 2 fights from the card at the same time from a stacked 15 fight card. Still got 13 fights though, as right now, knock on wood for the right weigh-ins. And, I'm so excited, so sucks to lose those 2 fights. So we'll talk about the Neal fight at Noche. Hopefully they rebook Diego ASAP. And, yeah, sucks, but what can you do? Fights get canceled. That's gonna happen. We still got 13 fights from Chicago, Illinois for UFC 319. But let's not waste any more time, and let's get into them, shall we? As we begin with our first fight of the night, our only tough finale of the night, and a very good fight. Gonna be an interesting one, as we have our opening fight of the night, our opening tough finale of the night, our sadly the only one of the night until Noche. We have to open UFC 319 on the early prelims, the flyweight tournament finale for The Ultimate Fighter Season 33. Alibi Idiris versus Joseph Bopo Morales. Not a bad fight, not a great fight, not the fight that should be happening. If you watch my Ultimate Fighter recap from yesterday, you know I already think Joseph lost his last Ultimate Fighter fight against Emmanuel, so this fight should not even be happening. It should be Emmanuel Rodriguez and Alibi Idiris, but sadly we can't have nice things, and now we got Alibi versus Joseph, so still something, but could have been better, and that's what it is, I guess. Let's talk about our first fight of the night, our first Ultimate Fighter of the night, and that would be the undefeated 10-0 Kazakhstanian Alibi Idiris. 20-0, we don't know his age. Typology, I think he's like 25, 26, he's not old at all. Obviously 10-0 in whatever promotion he's coming from. Now, coming off the Ultimate Fighter, where he did go 2-0, obviously, beating to some alright competition. Not amazing fighters, but he did beat some alright competition. And now he's in the finale. Alibi is pretty good. He's a good striker. His grappling, we've not really seen. I don't remember seeing much of on the show, but I doubt it's awful. His cardio is pretty solid. He's a pretty decent fighter. Kazakhstan getting another good fighter. Hopefully, he's more active than Shavkat. And yeah, not a lot to say about Alibi, because like I said, if you want to know more about the Ultimate Fighter season and all that, go to the video I put out yesterday, the Ultimate Fighter Season 33 recap. Alibi's good. He's really fucking good. Again, his wins on show were not phenomenal, but they were not the worst, I guess, especially compared to guys who were coming into the finale. Yeah, Alibi's good. From what I think, he's a good striker. Grappling seems alright. We'll see, man. We'll see what Alibi can do here on the big stage, on the empty Apex fighting on Ultimate Fighter. What does he do in front of a crowd fighting for the tournament championship? We'll see. We'll see if the kid can hold up under pressure. Again, he seems like a good fighter from what I saw in his 2 fights. But let's see if he can show it on the big stage. See what Alibi can do. Against his opponent who lost on the Ultimate Fighter, Joseph Morales, 12-2, 30 years old, trying to get back in the UFC after being in the UFC a couple years ago, back in 2018, where he did go 1-2. In his one win on show, he beat Roberto Sanchez, where the fuck that is. And then his 2 losses in the UFC to get him cut were Davison Figueiredo. Okay, I think that's well understandable. And Eric Shelton, who... Then he got 2 wins in Cage Warriors, 1 Uriah Faber, blah blah. And then he won on the Ultimate Fighter. And won his first fight, lost to Emmanuel. Now he's in the finale. I don't think Joseph's very good. Like, obviously, he went 1-2 in UFC and got cut. He did not win against Emmanuel. And the one fight he did win, he fought Tomato Can. I don't think much of Joseph, to be honest. His striking is eh. His grappling is alright, it's not phenomenal. His cardio is okay. Like, he's more experienced, yeah. But outside of being, like, more experienced, does he really have any advantages over Alibi? Not really. I don't think much of Joseph. I don't think he's some great fighter. I don't think he's a good fighter. And, yeah, just not really much else to say about Joseph. Just, eh. He's a UFC reject for a reason. He's not good. So, again, he shouldn't even be here. So what did that tell you? Last thing is, of course, the betting odds for his fight, which are not on Tapology, but I did see him earlier, and I believe Alibi is like minus 300, which I can't really say I disagree with. He should win this fight. I think he's better. He's younger. He's looked better on the show. He's not a UFC reject. His striking's better. What's the height? All that. If we have that, we don't. Reach is the same. Joseph's only way of winning this fight is a boring grappling match, and I don't think Alibi's going to allow that to happen. I think he's going to be able to keep it standing and win on the feet and win the fight. Like, in a striking match, he's going to win. In a grappling match, if he can't get up or reverse and all that, then yeah, Joseph will win, but we'll see if Joseph can't even get down. If he can't, he'll probably lose. And Alibi will win on the feet, so we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting one, but I do agree with the betting odds here. I am going Alibi to get the win here, probably by a decision. He could finish Joseph like Figueiredo did, and like Alibi got finishes. Both his fights on the show were finishes, I think in round 1 no less. So he did get finishes there, but against some pretty low-level competition. So we'll see how he does here, if he'll get to finish. I'm going to probably say decision. He should win. I think he's a better fighter. He's a younger fighter. He's not some UFC reject. So give me Alibi Idiris by decision. I think he's better, and I think he should get the win. He could get a finish, of course, but more than likely I'm going to say decision. So give me Alibi by decision. Yeah, I think he'll be our first tough champion of the year, and then we'll talk about the middleweight one or welterweight one for Noche, something where that got rebooked for. So for right now, our only tough champion, in my opinion, will be Alibi, because he's just better than this UFC reject who shouldn't even be here. There you go. After that, we go to our first fight of the night. That's not a tough fight, and obviously that stays true for the rest of the night, as we have in our second fight of the early prelims, our first of 2 female fights of the night, this one at flyweight, and this one being a little bit short notice. We'll talk about the only other fight to have a pull out or a change, as we have, and in my opinion, the worst fight on the card. I don't think this is a very good fight. We have in the flyweight division for a number 12 ranking, I believe, on short notice, our second fight of the night, between, in the women's flyweight division, Karine, Killer, Silva, versus Dione, the Witch, Barbosa. I don't think much of this fight. I think it's a pretty bad fight. Barbosa is stepping in for JJ Aldridge, who pulled out a while ago, like a month ago, it feels like. Though she is stepping in, not on this super short notice, but short enough notice to where this still like, pretty noticeable. Yeah, she is stepping in for JJ Aldridge, who I thought actually had a better chance of winning this than Dione does, but we'll see. Again, I think this is the worst fight on the card. I don't think it's a very good fight at all, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. We'll first talk about the fighter who's been on the card the whole time, and in the top 15, Karine Silva, 18-5, 31 years old, 4-1 in UFC, 1-0 in the Contender Series. Her 4 wins since the Contender Series have been Poliana Botelho, Katlyn Souza, Maria Moroz, and Ariane Lipski. And her 1 loss was in her last fight, getting fraud checked by Viviane Araújo, and this is the first time we've seen her since that back in November. Yeah, Karine sucks, especially with another fighter in the division named Silva, who's levels above Karine. Yeah, I don't think Karine is good at all. She has piss poor fucking striking. Her grappling can be nullified pretty easily by Viviane Araújo. I don't think her cardio is that good. She's not very good. She would get demolished. Thank God she lost to Araújo, because if she would have won that fight, she would have got a better fight. She would get demolished by Jasmine Blanchfield, fucking Natalia Silva, like Grasso probably. Rose would have probably beat her. Karine's just not good. Like, her 4 wins have not really been good. Poliana Botelho, Come on. Ketlin Silva on short notice for Ketlin's debut. Get real. Maria Morozov, an OnlyFans model more than a fighter. Ariane Lipsky, a model more than a fighter. So her wins are kind of shit. One of your best wins, a short notice debut up a weight class, Ketlin Silva. That kind of says a lot. And then again, she lost to a 50-year-old Viviane Araujo who just got dominated by Tracy Cortez a couple months ago, which, come on. Another fighter that might beat Karine, to be honest. I just don't think Karine's good. Again, she has no fucking striking. Her grappling is nullified pretty easily. It's not bad, but it's nullified, and her cardio sucks. I just don't think Karine's a very good fighter. And it's not even a thing after her last fight. That's kind of got proven. She got completely fraud checked by Vivi, so they tried to push her. They wanted her to be good like Natalia, but she's just not. She's nothing like Natalia. Natalia Silva is actually really good. Karine Silva is really not. And, yeah, just not really much else to say in that regard. So, yeah, just not much. I don't. She shouldn't even be ranked anymore. I think Gabriela Hernandez is levels above her and has been more deserving of a ranking, so I just don't think much of Karine, especially, again, having another Silva in that division who's better, kind of makes her look worse. And then for her opponent, the short notice, not JJ Aldridge, this is now Dione Barbosa, which, again, I think kind of difficulty-wise is a step down. 8-3, 33 years old, 2-1 in the UFC, 1-0 on the Contender Series. Since getting a contract on Contender Series, Dione's two wins have been Inesta Carrasqueta in a debatable win, and Diana Belbita, and her one loss was to Miranda Maverick, another fight she stepped in on short notice, so she's getting good at that. Well, not winning, but stepping in on short notice against ranked fighters. Speaking of fighters who are one-dimensional grapplers, Dione Barbosa, yeah, she has no fucking striking. We saw a little bit of her striking in the Carrasqueta fight, and it looked horrendous. She's a one-dimensional grappler. And her claim to fame is being teammates with Cyborg. So, if you were half as good as Cyborg, that'd be helpful. But no, she has no striking, and she's a one-dimensional grappler. I think the fight with Miranda Maverick kind of showed what this fight's going to be. Dione on her back trying to throw up submissions and failing for 15 minutes until she loses. So, I just don't think much of Dione. Against shitty fighters who have no grappling, Diana Belbita, she could throw up a submission and win pretty easily. Or even a Carrasqueta who's not the highest level, and that was still a very debatable decision. Yeah, Dione could win those fights, but outside of that, she's already 33, she has no striking, and she's just not that great of a fighter. She just has grappling, and again, in a grappling match, she is going to be difficult to beat, but outside of that, you can, and again, Miranda Maverick nullified that pretty fucking easily, so she's just not some world beater, in my opinion, so yeah, good respect for stepping in on short notice and saving this fight, but I just don't think much of Dione. Depending on, I think a little bit higher of her than I would, I guess, to an extent. Having Karine Silva minus 170 to plus 145. I guess I'd probably have Karine like minus 180, minus 185. Like, she should win this fight. In a striking match, I think Karine's better. Let's see, she's an inch shorter with an inch reach, a half-inch reach advantage, 2 years younger. I think in a striking match, Karine would win. I think she's a little bit better of a striker. And then on the ground, she should be able to lay on top and survive Dione submissions, so I'm not too worried there. Karine should win this. I don't think she's good, and if she lost, I wouldn't be the most shocked, because, again, she's not good. But I won't be amazed if she's able to win a boring fight here. Again, she should win on the feet. She should win on the ground. And, yeah, she should be able to just survive Dione's couple submission attempts throughout the fight. and win. So give me Karine Silva by decision in a pretty lame fight. Again, if they're striking, it's going to be a sloppy, shitty striking match, and if they're grappling, it's probably going to be pretty boring. So give me Karine Silva by decision. She should win this fight. It's the worst fight on the card in my opinion. And yeah, unless I'm going to say something, which I don't believe I am, not a great fight, and Karine, as much as she sucks, should be able to pull this one out. I might have picked JJ Aldrich, to be honest, if she stayed in the fight, but now that it's Dione, I'll go with Karine to win a decision. So, there you go. Worst fight on the card. Don't get submitted and you win, dumbass. After that, we go to our co-main event of the early prelims, a banger that should be way higher on the card, and it makes no sense that this fight's booked to begin with, let alone this low on the card. As we have a banger in the middleweight division, something you'll hear a few times on this card. I know you're shocked. As we have in our co-main event the early prelims, a fight that came out of nowhere, makes no fucking sense, and should be higher on the card. We have in our co-main event the early prelims in the middleweight division, the Sultan Black Ruziboev versus Bryan the Butcher Battle. Yes, you did hear that correctly. Bryan Battle is back at middleweight for some reason. After going undefeated pretty much at welterweight, not counting that bullshit or not Fractadino fight, he is back at middleweight. Unless this is at welterweight and I don't know it. No, it's at 185 for some reason. Does this fight make a lick of sense? No. Bryan Battle should be fighting for a top 15 spot at welterweight, not moving back up to middleweight to fight a bum. But if that's what he wants to do, cool. This should be a banger. I'm excited for it. Let's talk about it. As we'll begin with the normal middleweight who tried to fight at welterweight at one point for some reason. Nursulton Ruziboev, 36-9-2, 31 years old, super stat-padded record, 4-1 in UFC. This is his first pay-per-view card, so good for him there. His 4 wins in UFC, 4 wins have been Bruno Fieda, Tadrikas Dumas, Eric Mechanico, and Dustin Stoltzfus, and his one loss was to Joe Quinn Buckley at welterweight when he tried to do welterweight for some fucking reason. I don't think Nursultan's good. I'm just gonna be fucking honest about it. I don't think this dude's good at all. He's a fine striker with good power. His cardio sucks. His grappling's not great. He's just not a great fighter. Like, if you look at his wins, Bruno Fiera in debut, that has aged pretty good. I'll give him that. And that's, well, I don't know if that aged good, but at the time, that was a great win. Tadrikas Dumas, you poked him in the eye to finish him. Come on. Eric Mechanico, garbage. Dustin Stoltzfus, a fight that was actually pretty close. You can make a case for Stoltzfus winning that fight, in my opinion, earlier in the year. Come on. And then the Joe Quinn Buckley fight, understandable. Again, why was he trying to fight down at fucking welterweight? I don't know. Dude's like 6'4". Like, you're not a welterweight dummy. But, he tried it, it went terribly, and he lost, so, shocker. I just don't think much of Nursulton. I don't think he's some phenomenal fighter. Again, his striking's alright, he has okay power, but grappling-wise, not great. Cardio-wise, not good. He's just not a good fighter, in my opinion. He's fine. He has a super stat-padded record, 36-9, get real. So, I just don't think much of him. I don't think he's a great fighter, and he's just not very good. He's fun. If you give him the right opponent, he can be fun, but outside of that, I just really don't think much of Nursulton. Positive, at least. And then for his opponent, the Ultimate Fighter winner a couple years ago, Bryan Battle, one of my favorite fighters. 12-2, 30 years old, 7-1-1 in the UFC. since winning the Ultimate Fighter, beating Gilbert Urbina and Tresean Gore, really both of those got him the award. His wins have been Takashi Sato, Gabe Green, AJ Fletcher, Kevin Jusey, and Randy Brown. His one loss was Renat Frakhdinov, which was short notice, so fuck you, not counting it. And he beat Angelo, so for being honest, so he's really 8-1. I get why Battle's moving back up to middleweight. That welterweight cut's not easy for him. He missed weight twice at welterweight. Fine. I still don't love it though. And I don't love why the fuck is he fighting a Sultan? He could be fighting someone a lot better, but like if Cesar Friedo wouldn't be like fine, like come on man. But if he wants to fight, this is a fun fight. This is a fun fight for him coming off but very debatable and a very boring win over Randy Brown. Like his last two wins at welterweight were good. He beat Kevin Jusey, who was an interesting prospect at the time, beat Randy Brown, who has bounced back phenomenally since that fight. Like, the dude, Bryan Battle is good. He's a really good striker. His cardio's great. He has alright power in his hands. He has good grappling. He's a very well-rounded, good fighter. The Randy Brown fight, he had some struggles. Randy's a tough guy to fight. He's really talented. And he squeaked by a win. Not his best win. What can you do? Going back up to middleweight, he won't have to cut so much weight, so hopefully that helps him. Let's see if that cardio is still as good as it always is. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how he does back at middleweight for the first time since 2022, beating Tresean Gore. Let's see what Bryan can do. Getting not the hardest matchup in the world here, one of his easier UFC fights, I'd probably have to say. And see how he does. Let's see how the Butcher does. The balance for this fight, say he'll do pretty good, having him -175 to +150. Yeah, it's hard to disagree. I would have Battle probably like -190. Like, he should win this fight. I think he's better than Nursulton. Like, the only thing that could be an issue is how lengthy Nursulton is. He's 4 inches taller, but he has a smaller reach somehow, so I don't know how that fucking works. Like, I think on feet, Battle is better. I think on the ground, I think Battle is better on the ground. Over 3 rounds, Battle is better cardio-wise. Battle should win this, man. I truly think Bryan should win this. I don't think he's gonna finish Nursulton. I don't think Nursulton's ever been finished. Knocked out once, submitted once. So that's unlikely that he's gonna finish him. Especially for his middleweight return. So this is the first time with that extra weight in a long time. I'm going to probably go Bryan Battle by decision. He should win. Again, I think he's a better fighter. Like, again, he looked pretty bad in the Randy Brown fight, but he should be able to win this one. The Sultan's not very good. It's stepped down from who he's been fighting lately, like Jusey and Randy Brown. And I think Battle should be able to win this. He's the better fighter, back at middleweight, and not cutting so much weight. Should make weight tomorrow, or by the time this is out, he already probably did. And give me Bryan Battle by decision. He could get a finish. It's possible, but it's probably unlikely. So just give me Bryan Battle by decision. He should be able to win this fight and get another win on his winning streak. What is he up to now? Like fucking 5, 6, 7 in a row. Darren Bryan Battle by decision should get to win in his middleweight return. Speaking of weight class returns, our featured prelim in the lightweight division as a legend returns to his former weight class that he fought at for a long time before moving down to featherweight, but now he's back at lightweight for the first time in like years. We have our featured early prelim in the lightweight division, some unks 39 versus 37 years old. This should be an interesting one, as we have our featured prelim in the early prelim in the lightweight division. Edson Jr. Barbosa versus Drakkar Klose. Decent fight. Edson Barboza, as I said, moving back up to lightweight for the first time in a long time after a long run at featherweight where he did pretty good. Now going back up at 39, almost 40. We'll see how he does. Well, he's gonna make weight, obviously, so that's not gonna be an issue for him. We'll see how he looks at lightweight for the first time in a while. Drakkar Klose, another old fighter. This should be an interesting early prelim. Let's talk about it. We'll begin with the legend, one of the best fighters to never have a title fight, 'cause I don't think he ever fought for the belt. Edson Barbosa, a legendary lightweight, going back up to his weight class, 24-12 at 39 years old, 18-12 in the UFC. This is his first fight at lightweight since 2019 when he lost to Paul Felder. After that fight, he went down to featherweight, went 4-4, which is not a bad record. And to be honest, he really sure went 5-3, beat Dan Ige. So take that as you will. His last couple fights, he's looked pretty good. Lost to beat Billy Q, beat Sadiq Youssef, lost to Lerone, who's co-maining on this goddamn card. Edson's good. Edson still got it. He's still really good. He still got the kicks that we all know and love. He still has fine hands. His grappling never been a strong suit, but he's never outside the Bryce Mitchell fight, we've not really seen that be a big problem for him in a long time. Yeah, it's Edson Barboza. What could I say about the dude who that hasn't been said? He's a legend. He has some of the greatest kicks in MMA history. Going back up to lightweight, good to see he's not draining himself to make 45 anymore. It's Edson fucking Barboza. What else is there to say? Dude's a legend. Been in the UFC since 2010, 15 years on the roster. What else could be said about the man at this point? To talk about his opponent, the also very old, only 2 years younger than Edson Barboza, Drakkar Klose, 15-3-1 at 37 years old, 9-3 in the UFC, staying somewhat active for the first time in what feels like a long time for him. His wins in the UFC have been Devin Powell, Mark Diakese, Lando Venata, Bobby Green, Christoph Giagos, Brandon Jenkins, Rafa Garcia, Joe Selecki, and Joaquin Silva. His losses have been David Tamer, Benio Dariush, and Joel Alvarez. I've never been super high on Drakkar Klose, to be honest. He's had some fun fights, but none of his wins are amazing. Bobby Green and Joaquin Silva, Joe Selecki. None of his wins are phenomenal. His losses, David Tamer, really? Benio Dariush, really? Joel Alvarez, okay, that's understandable. I've always just thought Drakkar's pretty mid. And mid's being nice. I never always looked at him a lot of people have always been high on him. He could be a top guy. He could be a top 15 guy. Could he? I never saw that with him, especially at lightweight. I never thought much of Drakkar. I thought he's mid. I've always thought he's mid. I thought there's always been fighters better than him, and most of the time it's not wrong. So, he's just mid. There's not really much else to be said about him. He's well-rounded. He has decent striking. He has decent grappling. He's not a scrub. His chin's kind of soft. His chin's easily breakable. That's never really been a big worry for a big strong suit of his. His chin's always been pretty weak, and he's just not. I just never really thought highly of him, as high as other people thought of him. So maybe it's a me problem, I don't know, but I just never thought highly of Drakkar. Now he's getting older, just got finished by Joel Alvarez, putting more damage onto an already damaged chin. We'll see what Drakkar can do. Fighting a legend, see how he does there, and let's just see how Drakkar does. So, trying to be more active, a guy who's not been the most active in the past. So, let's see how he does, fighting for the first time since December. See how he does. A guy who I've never saw the hype on. He's not bad, but I never understood the hype of him. The betting odds kind of agree with me. Having Edson Barbosa minus 150 to plus 130. Yeah, I don't really disagree. I think you'd have Edson a little bit higher of a favorite, maybe like a minus 160. Would I say 170? That might be a little much, but I think 160 would be fair. He should win this fight. I think he's better. In a kickboxing match, he's better. He's 2 inches taller, 5 inches in reach. Of course, Drakkar is going to have one game plan, grappling, and it might work. We've seen it work against Edson many times before, but I just don't think Klose has the ability to grapple fuck Edson Barboza for 3 rounds. It's possible, 100% possible, but I just struggle to see it. Edson should be able to keep it on the feet for most of the fight and beat up Drakkar, maybe even finish him. That's definitely a possibility. But I just struggle to see Drakkar grapple fucking Edson for 3 rounds and winning. Again, a possibility, but the dude didn't even look that good against Silva. So I have my doubts about him looking very good against Edson Barboza, who is younger and better than Silva. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just have some doubts about Drakkar being able to do what he will, be able to grapple fuck Edson. So give me Edson Barboza by decision. He should win this fight. He could even knock out Drakkar, and Drakkar could knock out Edson. Both guys have kind of had shaky chins before, but I think Edson's gonna be able to keep it on the feet, chew up his legs, and beat him like that. Have an Edson Barboza performance and win a decision. So give me Edson Barboza by decision. He should win this fight. And that's about that. So give me the legend at 39, going back up to lightweight, get another win, get his 25th career win to end the featured early prelim and prelims in general. So yeah, there you go. Those are the early prelims. Not bad. You got a tough finale. You got a former tough winner in a banger. You got Edson Barboza on the early prelims. Pretty good. Pretty damn good, in my opinion. So, that's that. Not anything else to say. Not that I know of. 36 minutes in. Let's get into the actual prelims. A few easy fights to run through here. Some might be a little harder than others. Let's not waste much time on it. And let's not waste much time before we get into it. So let's just get into it. As we will be staying at lightweight for our first prelim of the night, official prelims. I don't know how that shit works. As we have speaking of matchmaking, that makes no fucking sense. This is a prime example of that. As we have in our prelim opener in the lightweight division, staying there went from old men to one really young fighter and one guy who's getting older. In our first prelim of the night, staying at lightweight, I think it's the last lightweight fight of the night. It is, which is kind of crazy. We have to open the prelims. Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez versus the Chase the Dream Hooper. Wow, does this matchmaking make no fucking sense. So, Alexander Hernandez, who I don't think has fought at lightweight in a hot ass, in a couple, actually in a while, if I'm correct. Was this Hubbard fight at lightweight? I don't fucking remember, and you don't care. Versus Chase, who's on a 5-fight winning streak, and has beat 1, 2, 3, 4 guys better than Alexander Hernandez, who's coming off a loss, no less, because he lost that Kurt Hollabaugh fight. I'm not wasting time here. Chase Hooper, submission round 1, locks the night. Hernandez is garbage. He's always been a terrible fighter. I actually just want to check, was that Hubbard fight actually at lightweight, or was that actually a featherweight fight? I swear that was featherweight. No, that was lightweight, okay. So, but that was his last win at lightweight. Austin Hubbard. Oh, crazy. And then a debatable win against Jim Miller. Hernandez sucks. I don't know what else you want me to say. He's not a good fighter. And Chase Hooper is going to run through him. Unless, for some reason, Alexander Hernandez is a man who can keep Chase in a striking match at lightweight, which I doubt it. Chase is gonna sub him easily. It's not even a fucking debate. Chase Hooper sub round 1 pretty easily. Lock of the night. Hernandez is garbage. Next. The man should have been cut fucking 4 years ago. Next. Speaking of Brazilian legends, our second fight of the prelims, not Edson Barboza this time. We got a different Brazilian legend on the card here. Might not be picking this one though, sadly. As we have in our first competitive prelim of the night, and our last female fight of the night, this time in the top 10 of of strawweight, a fight I talked about last week, so, you know, we'll talk for the fight idea for the winner. This kind of spoiled, but, you know. Our second fight of the prelims in the strawweight division, in the top 10 of it, we have maybe the hardest prelim to try and predict, even though it's not the most difficult. It's not hard to predict, but it's also not easy, I guess. As we have at strawweight top 10, Jéssica Beta y Stoka Andrade versus Loopy Lupita Godinez. Yeah, like I said, from one Brazilian legend, like Edson Barboza, to another, like Jéssica Andrade. This one might not go as well for the Brazilian legend, though, so. Let's talk about Andrade back at strawweight for the first time in a while, actually, since UFC 300, where she won against Marina Rodriguez. Loopy, we know Loopy by now. Interesting fight. Again, probably the hardest prelim to try and predict, so this should be interesting. This should be very interesting, so let's talk about it. We'll begin with the legend, one of the greatest strawweights, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, Jéssica Andrade, 26-14, 33 years old, first future Hall of Famer, 17-12 in UFC. Not gonna go down her whole UFC career because I should be fucking stupid, but I will talk about the last couple years for her. Not a lot of winning has been done. Like, she has had some wins, of course, but they're not many. Like, since she started doing this, this move up to flyweight, she's went bouncing around. It was after the second Rose fight, and then since she started switching weight classes, she's went 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6. So I don't know why she keeps trying to fight at flyweight. She's too tiny. Strawweight is her weight class. In her last two fights there, she's won, knocking out Mackenzie Dern, beating Marina Rodriguez in a close fight at UFC 300. Like, I don't know why they're trying to have, well, not why they are, why Andrade is trying to have a career at flyweight when she's just too tiny for the shit. She's a good fighter. At strawweight, she's very good. We all know Jéssica Andrade. Hits hard as fuck. Is a great striker. What's her one weakness? Grappling. And at strawweight, it's easier for her to keep it standing. At flyweight, she gets ragdolled, like we just saw against Jasmine Jasovicius. So now she's back at strawweight, so this can be interesting. Like, she still has got ragdolled at strawweight. Let's not act like she hasn't. But it's a lot harder too, because they're more her size, and she's gonna be stronger than them more times than not. So, you know, that's just kind of the deal with Andrade. So, I don't know, I never understood the flyweight move for Andrade. She did get a title shot out of it, but she got her ass handed to her and now she's like he boss. She keeps flipping around weight classes, and it's not good for you to do that. The only fighter who has done that successfully, not even that successfully, is Kevin Holland, and he's not even that successful at middleweight, so stay at strawweight. We know Jéssica Andrade, she's a legend, she's a Hall of Famer, and she's one of the greatest strawweights of all time, but at flyweight, she's not one of the best ever in that weight class, so fight at the weight class that's good for you, idiot. And then for her opponent, Loopy Godinez, the always been strawweight, 13-5, 31 years old, 8-5 in the UFC, one of the most frustrating fighters in the UFC because she has all the potential to be a top fighter in strawweight, but she has consistently shit the bed in big fights. Her wins in UFC have been, she beat Jéssica Panay in her debut. I don't care what that says. That was a robbery. Silvia Gomez Suarez. She beat Lorna Carolina as well, in my opinion. Luma Lupumi, Ariane Cornalosi, Cynthia Calvillo, Emily Ducote, Elise Reed, Tabitha Ricci, and Julia Pilarstri in a very fun fight. Her only losses in the UFC, in my opinion, legit have been Angela Hill, Verna Jandiroba, and Mackenzie Dern. Not a bad 3 fighters to lose to. Every prospect loses to Angela Hill. Verna, obviously that's a more than understandable loss, and Mackenzie, I don't love that, but it happens. Coming off a win against Pilarstri in a banger, and that's actually a really good win. Loopy's not a bad fighter, but she doesn't fight to her ability a lot of the time. We've seen that against Calvillo. Like, the best Loopy Godinez we ever saw was against Elise Reed at Noche. She beat the shit out of her and won. Where has that one been? Like, I don't get it. Like, she's just had very questionable performances. The Ricci fight was close. Good win, but close. The Calvillo fight was close for no fucking reason. Like, she's talented. She's a great wrestler. Her striking is subpar at best. Like, she's very talented, but she just looks super underwhelming at times, and that's kind of been a reason she's kind of just been mid in the last couple years, why she's losing to Verna and Dern instead of beating Dern, who she should probably beat. So, Loopy's good. Loopy is very good when she's on her game. Like I said, the Elise Reed fight, go rewatch that. That's one of the most dominant performances you'll see. But she's just been inconsistent. So, even at Pilarstri fight, she almost got finished and lost, which is understandable. Pilarstri's very good. But it's like, come on, Loopy, you have all the potential. Follow in the footsteps of Alexa and Irene. But she's just not doing it. And let alone she's not a striker like those two. She's not half the striker they are. But, she's good, but just inconsistent. Hard to trust half the time. That's what sucks to try and predict her. Actually, what is my picking record with Loopy? Because she's just a pain in the ass to pick. 6-7. Yeah, good job. Great, good job, man. The betting odds for this fight have a Loopy Godinez minus 175 to plus 150. I'd probably move the odds down a bit. I'd probably have a Loopy minus 140. I think would sound right, to plus like 125 or whatever. She should probably be like minus 140. She should win this fight. I do think she should win. But it's a tough one to predict. This is at strawweight, so grappling Andrade is going to be harder. But I still think Loopy should be able to. She's an inch taller and a smaller age. It's an Andrade fight, you never know. Actually, both of these two, you can say you never know what's going to happen. Andrade could look phenomenal like the Dern fight, or she could just get ran over like the Jazz Vicious fight. And Loopy could look phenomenal like the Elise Reed fight, or look piss poor like the Mackenzie Dern fight. So there's two fighters you don't know what you're going to get. Could Andrade go in there and knock her out, or just keep her standing and beat her up? Yeah. But could Loopy go in there and ragdoll her? Yeah. It's a tough one to predict, but I'm probably going to lean Loopy. I feel safer picking Loopy. I think she should win this fight. Andrade is getting older. She is now 33, going to be 34 in 2 months. I'm not thinking she should retire yet, but it's getting close to making that debate. A couple more fights, and like when she's 35, she should probably be out of here. She's made her money. She has enough fucking performance bonuses. Like, she's just getting older, and especially against a grappler, it's hard to trust Andrade, so I'm probably gonna pick Loopy here by decision. She should be able to pull out the win here, wrestle Andrade and get the win. As hard as that's gonna be against Andrade at strawweight, I think it should still be possible to do, and I'm gonna pick Loopy Godinez to get the win here. So I never like picking against Andrade, because who doesn't like Andrade? She's one of the actual fun female fighters, especially at strawweight, with power. And she's a legend, but I just can't really make a case for picking her. So, Give me Loopy Godinez by decision. She should be able to pull out the win here and get the W, so give me Loopy by decision. Could she, again, get stuffed on takedowns and lose? 100%. But could she also ragdoll Andrade? 100%. I'm not confident in either, but if I have to pick one, give me Loopy Godinez by decision. I'm more confident in that outcome than Andrade getting a knockout or a decision, so I'm going to go with what I'm more confident in, and that is a Loopy decision. Sorry, Andrade. After that, we go to our co-main event of the prelims, back at middleweight for the second of 4 fights tonight. This one probably the worst of the 4, but this is still a pretty alright fight. Actually, a fight that looks terrible on paper, but if you really look at it, it's kind of interesting. As we had, this should still not be the co-main of the prelims. There's much better fights than it. As we have in our co-main event in the prelims in the middleweight division, a very interesting fight, which again, 2 years ago it wouldn't be, but now that just kind of is. As we have in our co-main event in the prelims at middleweight, GM3, Gerald, Meerschaert versus Michał Oleksiejczuk. GM3 versus Oleksiejczuk. 3 years ago, it would sound like an Apex prelim. That would suck. 2025, when we learn GM3 is the GOAT and Oleksiejczuk is now fighting Nerd, it's actually pretty interesting. So, let's talk about it. It's still a terrible prelim co-main, but that'd be interesting. So, let's talk about it. We will begin with the GOAT, the man who gave Rainier one of his toughest fights somehow. GM3, 37-19, 37 years old, 12-11 in the UFC. Of course, that could go down his whole UFC career because we'd be here forever. But I'll go down his last couple fights. He went on a nice 2-fight winning streak against Bryan Barbosa and Edmund Shabazian. Not the greatest wins in the world, but they were wins at the end of the day. And then he did fight Rainier de Ridder in Rainier's debut and actually put a pretty good fight. Yeah, if he didn't get knocked down at the end of round 1, he would have been up 2-0 on him. So, good job there. And then his last fight back in April, he got pieced up by Brad Tavares for 3 rounds. So, not a good job there. Yeah, GM3 is really fucking old. He's 37, gonna be 38 in December. Who knows how much time he has left. He's getting older. His striking is still not very good. His durability has never been a strong suit. If he can get you on the ground, you're fucked. But if he can't get you on the ground, he's pretty easy to beat, and that's kind of just been GM3's career. He's pretty one-dimensional. If he can't get you down, you're gonna more than likely win. But if he gets you down, you're gonna turn into a goddamn pretzel. So that's GM3 for you. He's gotten older. He's still slow. His durability has gotten worse. But he is the GOAT. That's GM3 for you. Not really much else to say. He gave Rainier his hardest fight, debatably. There you go. And then for the Polish fighting nerd, his opponent, Michał Oleksiejczuk, 20-9, 30 years old, 8-7-1 in the UFC. What a weird career he has had. His wins in UFC have been John Vellante, I'm gonna try that fucking name, Modestus Bukauskas, Shamil Genzatov, Sam Alvey, Cody Brundage, Chidi Njokuani, and Cedric Dumas. His losses have been OSP, Jimmy Crute, Dustin Jacoby, Caio Borello, Michelle Pereira, Kevin Holland, and Charbullet, and he had a no contest with Khalil Roundtree in his debut. Oleksiejczuk, for most of his career, I thought he kind of sucked, and I was kind of right. But then, after the Shara fight, he got up with the Fighting Nerds after losing to Caio, so, the enemy of keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Now he's a fighting nerd, and he ran through Cedric Dumas in under 3 minutes, which he probably was going to anyway, but, helps. We'll see how much Fighting Nerds really does help Oleksiejczuk. He is 30 years old, so he's still pretty young, and he's always had alright striking, great power, and he's pretty durable at times. His grappling's never been much, and he is fighting GM3, so that's kind of an issue. But, you know, and if the Fighting Nerds can turn anyone around, it's probably Oleksiejczuk, I think. They could turn this man around into being a pretty solid fighter, so let's see if they can do that. Let's fucking see if they can do that. He looked good in his first fight with the Nerds, and we know how good of a camp that is. Kaio, Gene, Rufy, so let's see if Oleksiejczuk can have a career renaissance. 1-0 with the Nerds. How does he do in his second outing with them? Time will tell. Let's find out. Let's see how the Polish nerd does. You kind of got to talk about his career in two parts: the bum and now the nerd. Let's see how the nerd chapter plays out. The betting odds, I think the first big favorite of the night so far, having Michael Oleksiejczuk minus 230 to plus 190. I don't know if I'd have him that big of a favorite. I'd probably have Oleksiejczuk maybe minus 210 to plus 180. Yeah, he should win. I am gonna pick Oleksiejczuk, but it's still GM3. At any moment, he could snatch up a fucking limb. Oleksiejczuk is an inch shorter and 3.5 inch disadvantage in reach. I am gonna pick Oleksiejczuk, and I do agree, but again, a fucking almost minus 250, a guy who still debatable if he's actually good with the Fighting Nerds, a guy who's never really been that good to begin with. I don't know, he should win, but GM3 is unpredictable. He could, again, at any moment, he could just snatch up a limb and win, so I wouldn't be so confident, but I'm gonna go Michael Oleksiejczuk. I'm gonna say he's able to survive the ground and win, and finish GM3 some point in this fight, so give me Michael Oleksiejczuk by knockout in, I feel the second. Has GM3 ever been finished in round 2? Knockout-wise, twice, and Oleksiejczuk's never had a second round knockout. I'm gonna say Michael Oleksiejczuk by knockout in round 2. I think he can survive the early round, let GM3 gas out a bit because he's old, and finish him round 2, so game Michael Oleksiejczuk by knockout in second. I think he can get the win. I think he can survive. As risky as it is fighting GM3, I do think Oleksiejczuk can survive and win. And give me Michael Oleksiejczuk by knockout in second. His brother is about to be on the Contender Series in a couple weeks, so that's also pretty cool. And let's see how big, I'm guessing he's the older brother, does first. So give me Oleksiejczuk by knockout in second. Yeah, let's see how the Polish nerd does in his second outing. Let's see if he's actually improved, or is Cedricus Dumas just garbage. Time will tell. GM3 is unpredictable, and he is the GOAT, but Oleksiejczuk should be able to get the win here, and give me him to get his first ever second round knockout against GM3. And finally, for our featured prelim, a fight booked yesterday, and so you remember when I talked about our first Contender Series debutante of the season? Yeah, it's this guy, as we have a guy I just talked about in the Contender Series recap on Tuesday night, already fighting again on Saturday night, and our featured prelim in the middleweight division to end the prelims with a, again, I can't believe this dude's already fighting again. He talked about it on Tuesday, and he made a reality on Wednesday, pretty much, or what? Yeah, Wednesday, as we have in our featured prelim in the middleweight division, our first Contender Series debutante of the year, and fuck, already making a good case for Rookie of the Year. We have in our featured prelim Baisangur Hunter Susurkaev versus Eric Nighttime Nolan. This motherfucker has been on the roster for less than by the time the fight was booked, he was on the roster for less than 24 hours, and he's already more active than 98% of the roster on it. That's insane to think about. Susurkaev, from when I'm recording this right now, he last fought 1 day and 23 hours ago. Dude, this dude's insane. He talked about it as a joke on Tuesday. Oh, I would like to get on the Hamzat card. He got on the Hamzat card! Somehow, on 4 days' notice. This dude's great. Again, he's more active in 1 day on the roster than 95% of the roster has been in a year. This dude's awesome. I don't need to say it. Like, I talked about this dude on the Contender Series recap. This dude's great. He looks like a legit prospect, 24 years old, coming off a beautiful win on the Contender Series, being the highlight of that episode. He's a great striker. He's Russian, and he's a combat training partner, so he can grapple. This dude's good. This dude's fucking good. I don't know what else to say. And then for his sacrificial lamb, Eric Nolan, making his debut, because I guess he's the only guy crazy enough to say yes to fighting Susurkaev on days' notice. 8-3, 27 years old. Good on this guy, getting in the UFC on a 4-fight winning streak. Good on him. He's going to get fucking annihilated. Oh, he fought Ty Miller. How fucking funny is that? Yeah, this dude's gonna get fucking annihilated. Good luck to the guy. He's gonna fucking need it. He fought back in May, getting a win. Again, he is on a 4-fight winning streak. Outside of Ty Miller, he's never fought anyone noteworthy. Yeah, this poor guy's gonna get fucking annihilated. Respect for stepping in, dude, but you have no fucking chance, so good luck. The bangouts for his fight are not on Tapology. Let me look them up real quick. I almost want to be surprised, but I'm not. Susurkaev is minus 1,000 at the moment. Yeah, hard to disagree. It's hard to disagree. He's going to run over this poor guy. Again, I feel bad for this Nolan guy, because he is just a sacrificial lamb who said yes to this fight for some fucking reason. And he's going to get annihilated, so yeah. And Susurkaev is not my lock of the night. I still like think Chase Hooper has Susurkaev has a better chance of losing this fight on 4 days' notice than Chase has losing to Alexander Hernandez on a full camp. So not like it matters. It could be co-lock at the night for all I give a shit. They're both gonna win, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, Susurkaev's amazing. He's going to run through this poor guy to end the prelims, and yeah, he is already making contention for Rookie of the Year, which is insane because it's fucking August and he just got signed. So, but give me Susurkaev by knockout in first. He's going to run through this poor guy like butter, and yeah, this guy's awesome. So, give me Susurkaev by knockout in first. What else can I say? Dude's amazing. There you go. He was not lying about his 4 days notice, and that's our 4-fight prelims. Good prelims. Chase Hooper, Andrade, GM3, Susurkaev. Good prelims mixed in with the early prelims. Those 8 fights overall, very good. I'm excited for them. The only dud is really the Karine Silva fight. Everything else I'm pretty excited for. We got a new fight booked on fucking Wednesday. Again, it sucks to lose the tough finale, the middleweight, the welterweight one, and Bobby Green, but I'm not too upset about it. And I'm still excited for all of this, so I'm excited. Gonna be good prelims. Great way to go in the main card. And speaking of that, let's go into the main card. An hour and 3 minutes in. Let's not waste any more time. Let's run through some of these main card fights, because some of them are not worth really going too deep into, especially the main card opener. So let's get into main card. You ready? I know I am. Let's begin the UFC 319 main card with a fight that has no right being on the main card in the flyweight division. A fight that, again, no right being on the main card, but Dana's never really been good at booking shit sometimes. As we have in our main card opener of UFC 319 on the pay-per-view, the shittiest main card fight of the night and one of the worst of the year. on paper, we have to open the UFC 319 pay-per-view main card at flyweight. Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm picking Tim Elliott. Until Kai proves something, I'm not picking him. He's fucking garbage, and he shouldn't even be on the roster anymore. He should have been cut. Give me awkward Tim to grapple his way to victory, because clearly it's pretty easy against Kai. And yeah, this guy's garbage. This Asakura's garbage. After he loses this, if he loses this, you gotta cut him. Because, dude, he sucks. And give me awkward Tim. Don't have a striking match with him. Grapple him. Give me Tim Elliott by decision pretty easily if he grapples. Do I actually think he's gonna win? No. More than likely he's gonna get knocked the fuck out. But until this tomato can prove something in the UFC, I'm not picking him. Give me Tim Elliott. Grapple. 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 That's all I can really tell. That's all I can really say, man. All I can really say. After that, we go to our second fight of the main card. One you could debate should be the co-main event of the card, or even should be a fight night main event, because God, is this an amazing fight. As we have in our second fight of the main card, our first real main card fight of the night, and God, is this a fucking amazing fight. We have in our second fight of the main card, our first of 2 middleweight fights on the main card. I think this one's not as big as the other one, but this is still a very good fight. As we have in our second fight of the main card, Jared, the Killer, Gorilla, Cannonier versus MVP, Michael, Venom, Page. What a fight. Like, what can I say about this fight? Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. What else needs to be said? Like, this is an amazing fight. Jared Cannonier, veteran, been around forever, 41 years old now. If he wants to win this fight, he needs to grapple. MVP is MVP, making his second fight at middleweight in the UFC after beating Char Bullet. This fight's awesome. I fucking love this fight. It's a simple one to break down. I don't need to go into these two's careers. You don't. There's no point to doing that shit. We know Cannonier coming off the Gregory Rodriguez win, which kind of saved him from being in retirement talks. MVP, again, coming off that Char Bullet win, getting his second fight at middleweight, which should be his weight class from the beginning. This is a great fight. What can I fucking say? In a striking match, MVP is going to win every time. Cannonier needs to get this fight to the ground, and I can't remember Jared Cannonier ever grappling, but if he wants to win this fight, he's going to need to grapple. You're not beating MVP in a striking match. No one really ever has. So, like, I get this MVP's only 3rd fight or 4th fight in the UFC, which is kind of crazy because I feel like he's been in the UFC a while now, but, like, 4th fight in UFC, wastes no MVP. He's the weirdest striker in MMA history, and he just knows how to make it work. And if he's gonna lose this fight, it's because he got grappled. He's way bigger than Jared. He's faster than Jared. He's younger than Jared. Like, yeah, Jared hits really hard, but if you can't hit the motherfucker, it doesn't matter. Maybe he could do leg kicks to an extent, but MVP probably has trained for that shit for all his career. So, again, if Cannonier wants to win this fight, he needs to grapple. And, again, I can't ever remember Jared Cannonier shooting a takedown, let alone grappling for a whole fight. So, could he? Absolutely. But will he? I just struggle to see it. Give me MVP by decision. I think he's going to have an MVP performance. He's just like the Char Bullet fight. He's going to dance around, piss off the opponent for 15 minutes, and win. That's just what MVP does. So, if you don't enjoy an MVP fight, you're weird, because he's entertaining, and he should win this fight, so give me MVP by decision. Unless Jared Cannonier goes into Jared Nurmagomedov mode, he's gonna lose, and I'm going MVP by decision. It's pretty simple. I'm excited. I cannot wait for this fight. It's gonna be awesome, and Yeah, give me MVP by decision. Unless Jared has a grappling back we never knew of. MVP is going to win a striking match 10 out of 10 times. MVP by decision. Pretty simple. After that, we go to our featured bout of the main card. Second time this has been booked, and it might actually happen this time. Knock on wood. We have in our featured bout of the main card, our third fight of the main card, our only welterweight fight of the night. And second time this has been booked, and not going to waste a lot of time breaking this down because it's a pretty simple fight to break down. As we have in our featured bout, our third fight of the main card, Geoff, it's not Jeff, it's still Geoff, Hands of Steel, Neal versus the Nightmare Carlos Prates. Yeah, Prates is gonna knock out Neal pretty easily. It's exactly what I thought the first time this was booked, and wrong button. It's exactly what I think the second time it's booked. Prates should run over Geoff Neal pretty easily. Even after getting fraud checked by Ian Gary, Prates should be pissed off. He's going to go in there pissed off. And he should be able to run through Geoff Neal pretty easily. So, give me Prates by knockout in the first. I don't think much of Geoff Neal. He's getting older, 35 years old soon. His last win was a super ancient RDA. Before then, he went on a losing streak. I don't know if he's ever been knocked out, but he's been knocked out one time. And was that Kevin Holland? Yes, when Kevin Holland knocked him out back in 2017. Prates should knock him out. He's the better fighter. I never thought much of Geoff Neal, but he had a close fight with Shavkat. I don't care. He still lost. Give me Carlos Prates by knockout in first, even after getting fraud checked by Ian Gary, which should be a sin. Should have got you released. He should beat Geoff Neal, who's mid, who hits really hard, and that's about it. So, give me Carlos Prates by knockout in the first. Pretty simple. Is there much more to say? Not that I know of. Give me Prates by knockout in the first. Pretty simple. Even after getting fraud checked by Ian Gary, which again should be a sin. Prates knockout round 1. Next. After that, our co-main event of the evening, a super interesting fight in the featherweight division. A really big fight in the featherweight division. An interesting fight. Our debut we've been waiting for a couple months now since he got signed. Let's see if he's another tomato can like his fellow signees, or is he actually good? Time will tell. As in our co-main event of the evening, in the featherweight division, a debut we've been waiting for against an undefeated Brit in a really good co-main event. I don't care what y'all say. We have Lerone the Miracle Murphy versus Aaron Pico. Ooh, is this an interesting one to try and predict? Aaron Pico finally in the UFC, finally making his debut. Lerone Murphy finally back for the first time in a couple months, getting a big spotlight. This is gonna be good. I cannot wait for this fight. Co-main event. I like it as a co-main. I don't care what y'all say. I'm excited. Let's talk about it. We'll begin with the UFC veteran here, the undefeated 16-0 Brit, Lerone Murphy, one of the only good thing the Brits have in MMA. 34 years old, 8-0-1 in the UFC, not gonna go down his whole UFC career. It's lately. He's been on a nice winning streak. Edson Barboza, Danny Ige, Josh Emmett. That's a pretty solid winning streak. Add Pico to the list. He could get a title shot. And he probably will if he fucking wins this fight. I don't like Lerone, but I don't think Lerone's a can or whatever. Y'all really hate him for some reason. Yes, the MF fight was not amazing, but it was not boring either. The Ige fight, yeah, that's kind of boring. The Barboza fight was pretty good. Like, and the funny thing, the same people who shit on Lerone, he's boring, will say, give Evloev a title shot. No, Evloev sucks. Lerone Murphy is way better than Evloev. Why? I'll show you why. There you go. That's all I need to show you for why he's better than Monster Evloev. That's all I need to show you. Evloev's garbage. This is a way better fight than Evloev and Pico. That's that simple. Lerone deserves it more anyway, so yeah, Lerone's good. Lerone's good. He's a decent striker, good grappler. We'll see what he can do here. 34 years old, he's getting up there in age, undefeated. Let's see what he can do, man. Let's see what Lerone can do. We know what we're getting with him. Then the opponent, the guy we don't know a lot about, the debuting Aaron Pico. 13-4, 28 years old, with a 12-4 record in Bellator and a 1-0 record in the PFL. Has not fought since February of 24, and now he's finally making his debut. The main question with Pico is he actually good, like an MVP and a Kayla Harrison, or is he a tomato can like his other signees, or brothers in signings, Kai Asakura, Patchy Mix, fucking Pitbull? That's the question. And I've picked all of those tomato cans to win in their debuts. Will Pico just be another one? And it's hard to say no, but I don't know, like, I've heard a lot of things about Pico, good and bad. I've seen some clips, he has good knockout power. And of course he has some grappling chops to him. But how good is he really? Looking at his resume, he's really beat nobody. His best win is what? I don't even know. I don't know any of these tomato cans. He's lost a couple times. Like, his chin's pretty glassy, it would seem. So, I don't know, Pico. It's an interesting case to see what... Like, I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued out. And no one can make the excuse, he's old, he's washed. The same bullshit they say with Pitbull. And I know what excuse they make for Patchy. That dude's just shit. So, well, let's see what category Pico falls into. Is he actually good, like a Kayla Harrison and a Michael Venom Page, in terms of signings? Or is he shit, like Patchy, Pitbull, and Kai? Let's find out. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited to find out. It looks like he has good power in his hands. We know he has some wrestling chops to him. Let's see what the guy can do, man. Let's see what Pico can do. Time will tell. See what the man got. And the betting on for this fight have Aaron Pico as the favorite. Minus 135 to plus 115. I think it's crazy. I would have it to pick him, and that's not even knowing a lot about Pico. I would have it to pick him. Lerone, I think, gets disrespected a lot. We've been burnt by these new guys way too many times. It's a tough one to predict. I've been flipping back and forth in my head about this one all week, but I think I'm going to settle on the pick of... Give me the guy I know. Give me the UFC experienced guy. Give me the underdog. Give me the Brit. Give me Lerone Murphy. I don't like him being 34. I wish he was a little bit younger. But I can't keep trusting these new guys who are just not good. I'm not even saying Pico's bad. I think if Pico was having a more favorable debut, I'd pick him. If he was debuting against, I don't know, Danny Gay or Giga Chikadze, yeah, I'd probably pick him. But Lerone Murphy, that's a tough one, man. I don't, like, and Pico will probably be a mid-fighter. I think Pico will be like a 10 to 15 ranked guy at featherweight. He seems to have that skill. But, I don't know, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one to sell me on. I just can't really. And again, if you look at who those other guys who I said Patchy Mix debuted against Batista, that's pretty winnable. Pitbull debuted against Jair, that's winnable. And Lerone's winnable too, but those are not the greatest fighters. Lerone and those are kind of guys who are like not, yeah. Kai debuted against that whatever tomato can that flyweight. So, like, look, Pico might be getting the hardest debut out of any of them, if we're being honest, and all of them failed against lesser competition. So what the fuck is Pico gonna do? I'm gonna go Earl Murphy by decision. I think he can win this fight, man. I think he can win. I think he will send another one of these new signings into a loss column in their debut and just keep showing they were not in UFC for a reason. We'll see how bad the loss is. If it's a bad loss where Pico gets like just embarrassed and dominated, then yeah, he sucks. But if he gets beat and it's not that bad, he can bounce back. I think when I've heard y'all are high on Pico, he is talented, but I just think this is too much. And I've been burnt by these clowns too many times. Give me Earl Murphy by decision. I just can't force myself to pick Pico. I truly can't. Give me the guy I'm experienced with. Give me Earl Murphy by decision. That's what I can say. I just can't force myself to pick Pico. Give me Earl by decision. There you go. There you go. I can't really think of much more to say. Earl Murphy by decision. If Pico wins, I won't be shocked. But I've been burned by them too many times. I can't put my pick in that as the new guy anymore. At least right now, at least with Pico. Give me Earl by decision in our co-main event of the evening. And then, finally, the main event of the evening, the fight we're all waiting for, the fight we're all on the edge of our seat for, the middleweight championship on the line, the biggest middleweight fight of all time, the immovable force versus the immovable object. This is gonna be amazing. I cannot wait. The biggest fight left in 2025. We have the undisputed UFC Middleweight Championship of the World to end UFC 319 with the biggest middleweight fight of all time. We have the reigning, defending, undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Strikers, still knocks, Duplessis versus the undefeated Venom, Khamzat, Boris Chimaev. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to say a lot here because I don't know what you want me to say. This should be a complete pick'em. I don't think there's a right way to pick. A lot of people are leaning Khamzat. I get it. But I don't think there's a right way to pick this fight. It's whatever you feel is right. It's 50-50, and I know the odds don't agree. This is a 50-50 fight through and through. I don't know why Drake is such a big underdog. I get Khamzat undefeated, Drake is good. Khamzat seems to be good. I can't you can't be confident in either side. I truly don't think so. Until that fight is over, I don't think anyone actually knows what the fuck's gonna happen in this fight. Like, you can make predictions and some people will be right, but if anyone says guaranteed on a pick in this fight, you're fucking lying. In any fight they're lying, but especially this one. There's no right way to pick this fight. It's whatever you think. If you think Khamzat's gonna go out there and smash him in a round, go maybe. If you think Drake is gonna survive and win, maybe. There's a lot of possibilities here, man. And I cannot wait for all of them. I can't wait for any of them. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be fucking amazing. It should be a pick'em. It could go either way. Like, it's a 50-50 chance. And the 50-50 is either 50% chance Drake survives round 1 and wins, and a 50% chance Khamzat wins in round 1. It could go either way. I don't think you can be confident with either. And you know me, I'll be confident in a pick pretty easily. I'm not here. I just can't be here. You can make a debate for either side, and I agree. Like, we all know in a striking match, Drake's winning this fight easily. In a grappling match, Khamzat's probably gonna win. But can he finish it in 1? If he can't finish that fight in round 1, Khamzat's losing. He has shitty cardio. We've seen that firsthand. Like, he had tough fights with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, two guys Drake's would beat easily. But Drake's is not perfect either. His striking looks like a blind man trying to throw punches. His cardio has never been the greatest. His fight IQ is pretty fucking bad, but he somehow finds a way to always win. I don't know, it's the biggest middleweight fight of all time, and it's a complete 50-50 toss-up. If I have to make a pick, which of course I do, I'm saying and still. I'm going and still. I think Drakkar can survive round 1 and win. If the buzzard for round 1 goes off, I think Drakkar got his chance of winning went up to like 90%, because Hamza's gonna be gassed after 5 minutes of holding him down. If he even can hold him down, if Drakkar stops the first few takedowns in round 1, how gassed is Hamza gonna be? Hamza has shitty cardio. So how gassed is he gonna be if he doesn't get to finish in round 1? And Drakkar makes it a dogfight. Will Hamza crumble in a dogfight? Will Drakkar crumble in round 1? I don't know. I cannot fucking wait to find out. I truly cannot fucking wait to find out. I'm ecstatic for this fucking fight, and I cannot wait. I truly can't fucking wait to find out what happens. I'm gonna pick Drakkar. I think he's more proven. We've seen him beat some good fight. Well, not great names, but he's been more proven, especially over 5 rounds. He looked phenomenal against Strickland. Let's see, 1-inch height advantage, same 1-inch reach advantage. They're the same age. I can't wait. I truly cannot fucking wait. I'm picking Drakkar. I'm gonna go decision. I won't be shocked if he does survive round 1. If he finishes Hamza late in round 3, 4, or 5. But I also could see him just winning a decision like he did against Strickland. So, I don't know. I truly don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. If Hamza goes out there and smashes him in a round, I won't be shocked. If Drakkar goes out there, survives round 1 and wins, I won't be shocked. If anything could happen in this fight, and I cannot wait to figure out what happened. Not even figure out, but see what happened. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. And I can't fucking wait. I'm on the edge of my seat right now before it even happens. And we still got a lot of time before it happens, so I can't wait. But I'm gonna pick and still Drakkar du Plessis to get the win, and still I'm gonna say decision, but a finish late is possible, but a finish early by Hamza possible. I don't know. I can't wait. Give me Drakkar by decision. I think he's gonna do it. I think he's gonna be able to. I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna do it. And, but I also think Hamza could win. I don't know. It's 50-50. Should be a pick'em. I can't wait. I could talk about this fight for hours, but there. That's all I gotta say. 50-50 fight, but I'm leaning, and still Drakkar by decision to end a phenomenal UFC 319. And finally, I end the breakdown for that card with a boom. Though that was the card to go over my picks one more time. Alibi Idiris by decision. Karine Silva by decision. Bryan Battle by decision. Edson Barbosa by decision. Chase Hooper, my lock of the night, by submission in the first. Loopy Godinez by decision. Michał Oleksiejczuk by knockout in the second. Baisangur Susurkaev by knockout in the first. Tim Elliott by decision. Michael Venom Page by decision. Carlos Prates by knockout in the first. Rome Murphy by decision. And Drakkar du Plessis, and still by decision. Not my least confident pick of the night is the main event, and I cannot wait. So boom, those are my picks. What a card. I cannot wait. 13 fights, one bad fight, and it's the Karine Silva fight. Who gives a shit? This card's gonna be phenomenal. I don't care what y'all say. I know a lot of people are bitching about it. Shut up. Don't watch. No one gives a shit what you think. We care about what we think, and that is, this card's phenomenal. I cannot wait to watch it. The main event's gonna be mental. dude, I cannot wait. So, I don't know what else to say. I could talk about this card in the main event for another fucking 2 hours, but I'm not going to. It's already an hour-and-a-half video, and I'm ready to end the video, so let's do just that by saying, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs to go by the end of 2025. I'll be recapping this insane card, hopefully, on Sunday. We're doing the after party on Saturday after the card, and the pre-party for the card tonight on Friday, which is going to be awesome. All that's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And this card's going to be phenomenal. I'm so excited. I hope you are as well. Let's enjoy. I did the picks aside, bias aside. Let's enjoy a phenomenal pay-per-view in Chicago. With that being said, I can't think of anything else to say, because if I talk anymore, I'll talk about this card for another 2 hours. So I'll end it by saying, as always, RX with a very unconfident main event pick. Out. Good vibes. Only. And still. Always. That sounded weird. Good vibes only and always. That sounds a lot better.